Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to our channel! Sony's Spider-Man No Way Home arrives this weekend to save the day, despite all the mishigas the exhibition has endured during the pandemic. Let's take a look at Spider-Man No Way Home, predicted to be the first $1 billion movie of the pandemic. Number 5. The hype behind the completion of the trilogy. Nobody, notably the box office's most dependable 18 to 34 demographic, will be deterred by a holiday distraction, a weekend rainstorm in Los Angeles, or frightening news stories. When all is said and done, Spider-Man No Way Home will have been a struggle well worth having, and settling between Sony and Disney, with the latter co-financing the $200 million sequel, with a 25% stake in the exchange for Tom Holland's web-slinger appearing in another Disney Marvel feature. As multiple MCU and Sony Marvel cameos, spoiler alert, Doctor Strange is one of them, hit the screen at last night's world premiere in Westwood, the multiverse tee-up or culmination, either description works, sparked off rolling audience yells. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film has a 97% fresh rating, making it the best-reviewed Sony live-action Spider-Man film to date. Fans are anticipating a smart sequel that elevates the stakes in a way that no other Spider-Man film has, and they'll happily get it. No Way Home has possibly more action than Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and it's certainly easier to understand and has more heart than the Eternals' Byzantine narrative. Given the tiny sample size of box office numbers, any movie projected to gross north of $100 million plus on tracking will have a large standard deviation. Number 4. Expected revenue from home. In terms of its US-Canada prospects, Sony expects at least $130 million from 4,325 locations, with Thursday previews beginning at 3 p.m. and utilizing all of the IMAX and PLF screens. Rivals and tracking predict a much bigger opening in the $175 million plus range, possibly even $200 million, though everyone is optimistic because No Way Home is the biggest movie they've seen on tracking in a long time. Numerically similar to big December openers like the month's number 2 Star Wars The Last Jedi, $220 million in 2017, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, $177.3 million in 2019, and Star Wars Rogue One, $155 million in 2016. Sony has never been a studio to overpromise and underdeliver in recent years, preferring to underpromise and overdeliver. But truly, anything that can match or surpasses the $90 million pandemic opening record of the Culver City Studios' Venom Let There Be Carnage is pretty damn excellent. To date, Sony's greatest domestic opening belongs to Spider-Man 3, which grossed $151.1 million in its first weekend in 2007. Why are rivals' expectations for No Way Home so high? Because pre-orders for the latest Jon Watts MCU release have all surpassed expectations. According to industry insiders, No Way Home is currently 20% ahead of Rise of Skywalker and 35% behind Avengers Endgame in advanced ticket sales, with the latter earning the highest domestic opening of all time with $357.1 million. Endgame had grossed $120 million before its weekend debut, putting No Way Home in the $78 million range. Number 3. Overseas forecasts. Overseas forecasts range from $160 million to $180 million. These figures are certain to include COVID codicils. The No Way Home rollout begins this week in Korea, the United Kingdom, France, Russia, Mexico, and Italy. Germany, Brazil, the Netherlands, India, and Spain, among others, have joined the opening suite until Friday. No Way Home has yet to be assigned a release date in China, and it is unlikely to arrive before the end of 2021. Is it possible that No Way Home will be the first film to gross $1 billion outside of China during the pandemic? That's what many distribution executives are thinking about right now. Number 2. The Asian market. The previous Sony Disney MCU installment, Spider-Man Far From Home, is a challenging comparison because it debuted early this summer in China, Japan, and Hong Kong, grossing $111 million from just those 3 regions. The next weekend, it was expanded to the rest of the world, resulting in a $395 million international box office debut. Far From Home's top market was China, with about $200 million, followed by Korea, the United Kingdom, Mexico, and Japan. Spider-Man No Way Home is expected to make $290 million globally at its lowest point, and if things go crazy and there's a deluge of walk-up traffic, the Holland-Zendaya film may make $380 million worldwide. Number 1. Other MCU movies. That's a significant increase over what we've seen so far in the COVID era. Universal's F9 had a $163 million global opening, while Disney MCU's Eternals had a $161.7 million global opening. Sony is taking No Way Home with a grain of salt because of recent stats like these, as well as the whole Omicron of it all. Nonetheless, the advanced optics on display here are just too good. Detective Chinatown 3 is the pandemic's highest weekend opener ever, grossing $400.4 million. Spider-Man 3 had the highest global opening for Sony, with $381.66 million. With $295.8 million, Spider-Man Far From Home comes in second, with $1.13 billion in box office receipts. The latter sequel became Sony's highest-grossing film ever. That brings us to the end of our video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit like if you did. Well, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. Also, watch the 2 videos on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in another video. Until then, take care and goodbye!